Indiana Jones, Indiana It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones Minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute. This is the show where we've lost how many drops we've had with the film Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor.
I wish we could put this in reverse. I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Gerald Christopher, 3 times Porter.
I'm Jason. Hi.
Hey, Jason.
Hey.
Hi.
And I'm Mark Campbell.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Welcome back to you
Hi, guys.
both.
Thanks.
It's good to have you back.
Has it already been
waiting
a
all
week?
week.
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I've been waiting all week for this.
I made and lost a small fortune the last time I talked to you guys.
Good for you, I guess, partially. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Our duck has taken on about a week's worth of water. We've just been sitting here waiting for the next recording, and here we are. This is minute 90, and this begins with Marion beaming as she drives the duck, proud of saving everyone's lives. And it ends with Indy starting to count waterfalls instead of clinging to the rivers and the lakes that he's used to.
Nice.
Thank you.
So in the script, it's not nearly as poetic and musical as the quote you just had, Tom. So Spalko is in our version of the movie. She and the crew look down and see Indy and Marion and everybody very, very, very slowly getting away. But then there's a segment that they deleted from the script. And Indy turns to Mutt while they're just kind of driving along in the water. And he says, "You learned to fence like that in prep school?" And Mutt says, "Just one more useless experience." And Indy says, "I'm not sure I'd call that one useless." And then Marion says, "He was fencing champ 2 years in a row, but he got kicked out for betting on matches." And Mutt says,
Really?
"It was smart. I bet on myself to win. I made a fortune." And of course, Max starts grinning and smacks Mutt on the back. And he says, "Good boy." And he says, "Always have a little bet on the downside in case you want to throw one." And Indy goes, "Outrageous."
So this is like a Pete Rose thing.
Wow.
It is like
Yeah.
a Pete Rose. Even
Yeah.
I know that. I don't know anything about baseball, but I know Pete Rose.
So
And
was
then
it the
it-
point? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, then it keeps going.
Oh,
Like
wow.
it's-
Jesus.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, the conversation ends. But
Can I just say,
as-
before I like it so far, except for Indy's last line.
Yeah, the outrageous
I
thing's
don't
kind
like
of
that,
crazy.
But I like
Yeah.
everything else so far.
Yeah, I kind of don't mind.
I'm sorry,
those.
keep
But then
going.
I don't care for this. Is Mutt, as Indy says, outrageous. Mutt is kind of has his hand in the water as they're kind of driving along, and all of a sudden he screams and yanks his hand out of the water, and there's a piranha on it, and he goes, "Piranha!"
Oh,
Oh my god.
That's
And
silly.
then everybody in the duck starts screaming, and he shakes it off of his hand.
Whee!
It's all sitcom. This is just giant sitcom.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it.
So but the whole point of that was to be like, so was it like supposed to be like a bond, like where Indy's like, "Wow, so you did learn some things in school," and Mutt's like, "No, I didn't. There was a bunch of useless stuff," and Indy's like, "That's not true, son.
Kind
Real
of, yeah.
world experience."
Yeah.
Nibbly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
All right.
If
And
they
was
played
this-
it a certain way, maybe it would have been kind of charming. Who knows?
Was this to lead to like an alternate ending where Mutt enrolls at Indy's college or something? Or
Oh my God! He becomes a fencing instructor at whatever school he's at now. Maybe that's the next movie.
You know what? Does Indy have any honorary degrees?
I don't know. Maybe the
Did
doctor.
they do honorary degrees back then?
Oh, that's a
I
good
don't
question.
Or is
I
it
don't
like
know.
an
Yeah,
80s
I mean,
thing?
like if you find the Ark of the Covenant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like does
You get, like,
anyone
a
else know that
Nobel
he
Prize or anything
Yeah.
for that, or
like are you sort of a fellow of the Smithsonian?
Do you feel like
Wow.
you would get a prize for peace for
well, maybe
finding
not,
the object that would
Nobel's-
destroy every creature on Earth? that
Don't
looks
they have
at
a
it?
lot of those? Don't they have like they have prizes for physics and
That's true.
things and
Yeah.
and Nazi
Destruction.
melting and destruction and
Well, okay, here's a
Malta
question we should have asked the years back. Does anyone else know that Indiana Jones discovered the Ark of the Covenant?
No,
I
I
think
don't
we
think
did
he
ask
did.
No.
that.
Yeah.
Did
I
we?
think we talked
Like
about
so,
that.
no one else. So, like, if he went to say Hampshire College and he wanted to get a job, he'd be like, "Well, what have what have you been up to lately?" "Well, I discovered the Ark of the Covenant." That's ridiculous.
No, you didn't.
That's the
or,
thing. He's
or would
like
they be like, "I read the recent Smithsonian. You discovered the Ark of the Covenant."
Right.
No, I think he's the boy who cried wolf. Like everything he says he found. Like, oh, I had to cross the Coronado. Where is
Yeah.
it?
Did you?
Mm.
Oh, I had this Chachapoyan fertility idol. Oh, where is it? Like everything he mentions, he doesn't have.
Yeah.
Good point. He has a couple of those trinkets on his desk
That's
Yeah,
true.
they're
that
good
the
pieces,
museum
Marcus.
will buy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Loser. I'm getting really, really depressed about John Hurt being in this movie.
Yeah.
Every time Oxley opens his mouth with some dumb cryptic thing, I'm like, this is stupid. And why have John Hurt in this movie if all he's going to do is say this dumb stuff? And there's no point to it. There's like, I keep thinking you could have Oxley be kind of nuts or be taken over by the skull or something and still be like a person who you can converse with and give John Hurt something to do. And yeah, like John Hurt being in the movie is just a reminder that he's in the movie and not doing anything.
Would you say it hurts the movie?
It does hurt the
Oh.
movie. It gets me right
Yeah.
in the John.
So
Yeah.
3 times it drops. He bolts upright and he says 3 times it drops. Now, just looking at John Hurt kind of being the wild crazy man that he is there, is he talking about he needs to use the restroom? I mean, is
Just lean
What
over
time
the
is it?
edge.
It's time for me to drop. How many bells is that?
You can lean over the falls. Go out the bow.
Kaplunk, kaplunk.
Everybody
kaplunk.
start paddling
Yeah.
upstream where you just hang out over the
He's on
bow.
the poop deck again.
Oh my gosh. See, that's what this movie has done to us. That's where we are. I don't understand. He has the skull. So if John Hurt has the skull, not John, if Ox has the skull, is he lucid?
Not really. It doesn't seem like
Yeah, it
it.
doesn't seem like it, right? I kind of thought the skull might sort of, I don't know, bring him back a little bit, but it doesn't seem to, does it? He's still sort of a ranting, I don't know, I guess correct madman.
But he's pointing out things that are in his environment. Like he says 3 times it drops, and then he says the way down. Like he's talking about
Yeah.
things that he's looking at. So it seems like he's aware of his environment.
Sort of like Lassie or something. Like Lassie's barking at somebody like, oh my God, there's a fire at the mill? Come on. No, I didn't. I want food. Please.
Well, Indy says to Marion, never do that again.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm wondering, how many times in your life would you have an opportunity, to do that?
Mhm.
Like 2 years, she'll find herself racing towards a fjord.
Right.
And so suddenly
I
she
told
needs
Indy I
to,
wouldn't.
yeah, I
Never mind.
know. Like, I'm going to have to detour. He asked me, this is what the therapist was talking about. I don't listen to my spouse.
Yeah.
Never do that again. What is it? Never jump off a cliff again in a duck?
Well, it's the
Never
1950s.
show me up in my own movie.
I would think, he meant women driving. Never do that again, right?
Never do that again.
Yeah, we're in the water, so I won't kick you out of the driver's seat right now. But as soon as we're on land.
They kind of weaponize her driving. Like it's her way of showing these louts
Yeah.
what's
She's in the
that,
driver's
she's-
seat.
Yeah, exactly. Which is a lovely sentiment, but I don't know.
think she needs that.
No,
I
she
wasn't
doesn't
like,
need
I wasn't
that.
like
She does
Marion.
not
Oh,
need
Marion needs
that.
more
No.
to do. Marion is a wilting little flower in the background of Indy's. Like she's Marion Ravenwood. She doesn't need to like. The movie doesn't need to give her center stage. She's just there. She's awesome.
Yeah, we spent
I
a
don't
whole
know.
movie proving that she can hold her own pretty much.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah. What do you? We should pick your brains. What do you guys think about Marion? We're showing our cards, but what do you think of Marion in this movie? happy to see her? Is it
It's
everything
nice
you
to
wanted?
see. It's nice to see her, but they don't really do much with the character, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
That's my whole take on it. But,
Yeah, she seems a little bit happy to be along for the ride rather than being
Yeah.
her character.
That's a good way of putting
Karen
it. Wow,
Allen's
that's
happy
really
to
true.
be in this movie. It's not Marion Ravenwood,
Yeah.
really.
Right. Marion Ravenwood's got better stuff to do, but Karen Allen's very excited.
Yes.
What does she say when Indy says, "Don't ever do that again"?
She says,
She
yes,
says,
dear.
"Yes, dear."
Yes,
Yes,
dear.
dear. Okay.
Yes,
All
dear.
right. All right.
Yes,
And I
dear.
guess you can say she says it in a way that means up yours. I'll do what I need to do. Forget it.
No, she says it in a very
Yeah.
cutesy way. That's
Exactly.
like, oh, they're
Yeah.
back together again. Yay.
They're back together again. Yeah.
Right.
Are they
But it's
back
not the kind
together
of
again
yes-
at this point?
This time it's gonna work. I'm so happy.
Right. That's a really good question. Are they like? Well, okay. The last time they've had like a meaningful exchange was right at the beginning of this whole sequence where she was they just kicked a Russian to death or something. Not to death. It was Shevchenko, I guess. But and he's like, they weren't you, dollface or whatever. And she's all beaming and stuff. So I don't know if they're together, but maybe she wants to go steady or something, or
Well,
give
big
her his
problem-
letter jacket.
The big problem with this film to me is, especially with her characters, they never have a real serious moment. It's all very goofy. Every encounter
Yeah.
with them, they never have like a little real heart to heart.
Right.
It's very needed. They definitely do that in Raiders, and you don't even know the characters yet.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of did that a little bit when they're all tied up in the truck.
But
And they're,
it's goofy still. It's very, very Ozzy and Harriet almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of sitcom it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But there are parts of that I do like. That they're getting at that. Like, oh yeah, Marion and Indy need to have a conversation. They need to have this
Yeah.
out a little bit and find out what the hell happened.
Yeah.
I have a question about the maneuverability of the duck boat. And I forgot what those things are called. There's a Russian name for it.
Oh right, Pete will tell you.
But if you look at Second 21, there's a bunch of rocks off to the right that they could have steered into that would have stopped the vehicle from going over the cliff.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
I assume this is the same rocks the Russians, traverse through to get to Agator, right?
yeah,
Oh,
to
maybe.
get to the trail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the script, at one point they look over on land and they see the Russians driving along the riverbank.
Oh really? Weird.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's
Which I
after
get-
Oxley says the way down, and Mutt says he means by land. He came by land, and then they look over and the Russians are driving along.
Okay, hold up. I could not understand about 80% of the dialogue in this. What? Because I thought Mutt said something about land. He means by land, and you're like, what? Pete, what is he saying, and why are they talking about by land when they're in the duck going over 3 times it goes down or whatever the hell it is? What is?
I don't
what
understand
does this
what it means,
dialogue
'cause he
have
says
anything to do with what's actually happening or what they want us to be involved in?
I think Oxley's saying that when he did this trip before, he was on land.
Yeah, that's how I
But-
took it.
I'm not sure why he's saying
And
that.
that
or why
why-
Mutt is.
I sort of got the I guess they showed it in the script, but I kind of got the implication that's what I still thought that's why the Russians were rappelling down the cliff, was because they were going to take the land route, I guess. God, why were they driving in that direction in the first place?
Look,
That's how they had to go.
look, I'm not letting the Russians show up. The Russians weren't near ants. They weren't near ants. They show up. They get out of the car in the midst of the ants, and we're like, we have to repel away from the ants.
Well, no, those are the Russians who had been there the whole time. I don't want to.
Well, they went to pick up Spalko. They went to
Right.
pick up Spalko, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
but
very
they're
hard
in-
to keep track of all the vehicles.
They're in a truck, right?
Yeah,
Why are they
Yeah.
repelling?
I don't know. They drove to a cliff. I don't know.
Well, they're repelling for the ants, but
Yeah. I guess they can't drive the way
They can't
like
drive
Marion's
away?
proving that you can drive through the ants.
Yeah.
And the ants
So why
can climb
can't they
down the
drive through
rope.
ants?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
couldn't they just drive the other way?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, we have bigger fish to fry.
All
'cause
right,
the-
wait,
our
right.
heroes,
Yeah.
our hero, the elephant in the room is that everybody goes over a waterfall and they don't die.
They go over
A very large
Free
Iguazu
price.
Falls. Yeah.
They don't die.
Yeah. Although there
Yeah.
is a gorgeous shot when they go over the first waterfall and they land and there are water droplets on the lens.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful shot. Like at a couple of these, like when I think the second one's my favorite of them, but they're filmed really nicely.
They are.
They
you know,
are.
I'm going to say, okay, when I saw this in the theater, the one time in the theater when it came out, by the time you get to these waterfalls, I'm kind of beaten and bruised, and I'm just kind of like annoyed by the. I'm like, okay, this is dumb. I'm not into this. I'm already not into this movie, and these waterfalls are stupid. But sitting here, like watching these for this,
Uh-huh.
and kind of watching these minutes over and over again, just like, taking notes and stuff and getting them, whatever. I'm like, this ain't so bad. It's kind of something kind of pleasant about this, about like there's no music. All you're hearing is the water rushing and everything. And they look beautiful. Like, each of the waterfalls, we only get one in this minute, but it's a beautiful kind of crazy water rushing thing. And something kind of, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels like a Disneyland ride to me.
I think the crane shot before the first drop, when the camera cranes up over the duck boat as it goes over, is really spectacular, and probably on a giant screen and make you kind of dizzy.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
That kind of
question is,
that shot. Yeah.
is there any danger? Are we worried about these people at all?
No.
I mean, especially once they survive the first one. I mean, they're our heroes, so of course they're going to be fine. But like once you see them survive the 1st waterfall, you're like, okay, I see how this is going to go.
Yeah.
My note is that the falls are gorgeous, and the shot of the falls, the shots are gorgeous with the crane shot going over the fall. It's really beautiful. It is, but as far as the movie goes, it's very strange and lazy and stupid. And they they all go, ah, and they go over, and then I mean, this makes the mine car jump look like The Godfather or something. This is, I mean,
Right.
this is, I don't know.
Oh,
This is,
It feels like
because they go down. We all know, it's rocks and all sorts of whirlpools and crazy underwater waterfalls. And they go down, and then it's like, is the duck inflatable or something? It comes up like one of the buoys in Jaws.
Yeah.
Right.
And you're like,
And everybody just climbs
like
back in. Like, oh, geez, I got all wet. Oh no.
Well, I think Mutt was the only one that kind of like, he was kind of on the hood after the first one, but everyone else seemed like...
it bobs up and down like Herbie Robinson from Cleveland.
Baseball player.
I like this shot though, because the water level is right at the bottom of the camera lens, and like a little water splashes on it, and you feel like you're in the water.
See, you know what? I said a while ago that I gave them a pass on the ant squishing on the lens.
Yeah.
Like I don't normally like the CGI stuff on the lens, and I feel like this has to be that. And so I'm not kind of into. I kind of don't like the water drop. I'm like, you're doing this on a set. Don't trick me into thinking that I'm seeing something that wasn't fully under your control, and everybody was fine, and even the water was behaving exactly the way you wanted it to. I don't know. I don't like the water droplets. I hate them, Pete. I hate them.
Well, what do you do when the cinematography or the the treatment of it is beautiful, and that's what's kind of hard. Is that
Well,
The
what could they have
treatment of it
done
is
differently? Is there a way to have your heroes go over 3
Yes.
waterfalls?
No.
I know the second 2 waterfalls haven't shown up yet, but is it possible to do that in a way that isn't kind of insulting to the audience and makes you kind of want to groan? Like,
Well,
does Mac get brained to death on the second one? You're like, oh my God.
Well, yeah, they should have lost somebody. I was thinking about this earlier today. Just how when in Last Crusade, when Indy goes over the cliff with the tank, it's you could have played out something similar in this situation. And
Maybe.
it's
Like everybody's on the side, like, oh my God, Indy just died.
Yeah.
Or Mutt could have he could think Mutt's dead. Yeah, I don't know, something like that.
Well, why do you have to have 3 of them?
It's funnier. The
Because
rule
3
of
times
threes.
it dropped.
Because 3 times they drop.
We don't make the rules. Please.
Didn't he say something about a serpent or something? In the map, they could have just had like a
That's
snake.
coming up, I think. Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I just-
whatever.
I think
can't-
that's the Amazon.
I
don't
can't
know.
watch this scene though without thinking of the mission, and the mission made that waterfall seem so incredibly scary and treacherous and dangerous.
Yeah.
In this, it just is like, oh, that looks fun. Let's a ride. It's a Disney
Right.
ride.
The waterfall in the mission looks like it's outdoors.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
And,
is-
people are probably
this is-
screaming at us, oh, no, it's a real waterfall. They shot,
Well, I mean, this is Guazhou Falls in.
Okay.
Yeah,
keep
South
yelling at
America.
us.
But
Okay.
I don't know if they actually filmed it there. They just did some overhead shots there.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
B unit
Yeah.
shots.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, I don't know. I guess I like the waterfalls themselves, but what they do with them is just plain. You know what the best part of the minute is? Honest to God, and I didn't notice this for a long, long time. Indy, I think Indy asks Ox, like, wait, did you say 3 times it drops? And you're like, wait, what does he mean by that? And Indy in the background goes, oh, nuts. Because he's realizing what's going to happen. He says, oh, nuts. I kind of love that. That sounds totally out of character. I don't know if that's totally Indiana Jones, but I love it. I love hearing that.
I love that too.
Sounds like Ralphie from Christmas Story or something. Oh, nuts. Crummy commercial.
Yeah.
They really went for the 50s tone in this one.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what was that movie? It took place in the 50s. We'll use all nuts. Well, yeah, it's all waterfalls. I don't
Yeah.
know. What do we
Really,
do?
really not much to talk about with this one, is there?
Want to
Yeah.
talk about Shane Rimmer?
Yeah, let's talk about Shane Rimmer.
Shane Rimmer's really good. He's in Star Wars and he's in Superman and Superman 2. Is he in Superman? I think he's just in
He's
Superman.
in Superman.
2.
He is.
Is he?
Where
that's
is he
great.
in Superman?
He's one of the controllers. I think when Lex Luthor's stealing the missiles.
Well, I know John Ratzenberger's in that scene, and he's also in the scene with Shane Rimmer in Superman 2. But is Shane Rimmer in that first one? I don't know.
thought he was.
I can't picture him there right now, but you might be right.
Uh-oh.
The people, I feel like just as people were yelling at us about the reality of the waterfalls, people are even yelling more about the placements of Shane Rimmer. In different
Get to
scenes.
Shane Rimmer.
Yeah.
He's the naval transport commander, uncredited in Superman the movie.
Oh, okay. In Superman 2. Wait.
In
wait,
Superman
you say
2, he's controller number 2. Credited.
Okay.
Did he get demoted?
He got credited in part 2. I know that. That's what
Wow.
Wikipedia tells me. Oh my god, are we just like looking at Wikipedia on this podcast? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, we are. What do we do? Jerry, is there anything coming in over the wire?
Speaking of on nuts.
Wire? Don't get electrocuted.
Yes.
Oh,
3
look at that.
times. 3 times it drops. Coming in over the wire. This just in from Professor Christy Porter. Let's see. Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition. Meet the greatest earthquake ever known. What's the next line?
Oh, God. I have no
Wow.
idea. Now people are yelling at us.
Yeah. Wow.
I only remember the chord. In the land.
They're on a routine expedition. Let's see.
Oh, boy. This movie could have used some slee stacks.
It could have used just the Land of Lost theme. Didn't John Williams
Yeah.
write that theme? Or am I imagining that? He just did Lost in,
No,
he
he
did Lost
did
in
Lost in
Space.
Space.
Yeah,
Land
there
of the
we
Lost
go.
in Space. Yeah.
Wait, who did? John Williams did?
Well, he did Lost in
He
Space.
did Lost in Space.
Was that the one that ba 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 ba? Was that
Yeah.
Lost in Space?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's-
A little bouncier,
Wow.
though, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah, it's great.
ba-da-da-ba-ba-ba.
He also did My Favorite Martian, I believe, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
And he did Star Wars.
Oh, that?
Little
He did
known
that?
fact. Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, I don't know what the next line. I feel bad.
Well,
I know I watched Land of the Lost, but I didn't watch a ton of it, and it didn't stick with me
there
as
wasn't
much.
it. Didn't like a movie of it come out 15 years ago? Something.
Yeah,
Wait,
with
Lan-
Will Ferrell. Yeah.
Oh, that's
right.
right.
Was it
I
any
Yeah,
totally
good?
forgot about that.
It was a
Wow.
huge bomb, I remember. And I
It
grew
was.
up, so I'm a little bit younger than you fellas, and there was a reboot on Nickelodeon in the 90s. That was my Land of the Lost.
Oh, my
so
God. Wow.
There you go. It had one of the Bottoms brothers. Timothy Bottom, Samuel Bottom, one of the Bottoms boys.
I think in Bottoms Boys is also... No, never mind.
That show I
times,
watched stem to stern.
This is the Land of the Lost podcast.
It is. It is. Well, now that we've gone through Shane Rimmer and Land of the Lost, Mark and Jason, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you're having fun. And I hope, I mean, if you want to, there's a couple more waterfalls coming. If you're into waterfalls, which you seem to be, you could come back next time and we could go over some more waterfalls together.
3 times they drop, yes.
I'm
Okay.
getting my life vest on right now.
There you go. Oh, perfect. See?
There you are.
That's more sensible than the heroes in the movie. Well done. Everybody, we want you to come back. Get your life preservers on, whatever you need to do, and join us for minute 91 of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, right here on the, I'm going to try to time it with the song in the background. Right here on the Indiana Jones Minute.
Good, Tommy, you do the yell. Do the yell this time. They go over the falls again and they yell.
Oh no, the yell beat the pre-yell. I should have said this in the minute. Oh no, the episode's over. No one's going to hear this. Indy sounds a lot like Christopher Lloyd in Roger Rabbit when he's melting, because he's going whoa 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 whoa. You hear me running over the thing.
It's like that kind of, yeah.
It's just short of that. It's very incredible.